Greetings, peace, love and light to you all, family, Dumelang, Sanbonani once again. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathics. So now, on today's episode, I'm going to be reporting back on my activities for this weekend. I call this my DMT weekend. It was a very interesting weekend. It's gonna go down in my genetic memory as that time, where I first did DMT. So this is gonna be a video where I give back my trip report and just, explain to the family what the DMT experience was like. So in the past, having dealt with psilocybin mushrooms, I've never actually done a report on those. They've just been personal journeys. But here I felt, okay, no, man, you know what, I'm gonna have this experience and then I'm gonna give it back to the people, because that's what I'm not necessarily calling myself a shaman, but I do believe to a very high degree that one of my callings or purposes for this life is to teach. Not only things that are in the physical world, but definitely things that are of the spiritual world. I mean, that's what this whole channel is about. It's about channeling information. And while I'm on that quickly, there's someone who asked me in the comment section that sometimes I speak about downloading. What is it to download information? Well, to download information is to... and he actually said that when I say I'm downloading, I look up. To download information is to receive information from the ether, because what you are is a broadcasting system, and that is actually going to get us into the whole subject of DMT, because what happens there is nothing but downloads and broadcasting. So when you download information, you are basically getting information from the ether, because you yourself, you are a device, and your pineal gland and all your glands are basically like receivers. Like how a radio, when you turn that knot, and then like you pick up different radio wavelengths, that's the same thing that happens with you. Depending on where your level of consciousness is, that's what you get to pick up. So now when you are on these journeys, which I'm going to get into right now, what's happening is that there is a switching of frequencies that allows you to tap into realities that are not somewhat, would say, distant or far away, but realities that are overlapping our own reality. And when we learned from the ancient Egyptians, they said that reality is actually, so this dimensions are actually separated by 90 degrees. That's why when you see in ancient Kemet and ancient Africa, on the walls, what they would have is they would have netters walking in one line. And all of a sudden at a 90 degree, you see them walking you see them walking up the wall. So it's like they would be walking this way, and then all of a sudden they're walking that way. That is the switching, or that is the switching of dimensions. Dimensions are separated by a 90 degree angle. So they're actually overlaying each other. It's not that one is there, one is over there. They are all in one place. Just that now the vibration of it is what is different. And so now what the DMT does is that, it being a dimethyltryptamine, it's actually a dimensional mind travel. What happens is that it allows for the frequency of your brain to pick up. And so when the frequency picks up, you tune out of this radio, you tune out of this TV station, and then you pick up on another TV station. So now, how this weekend went down is that Friday, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had this feeling. I'm like, I haven't been on a psychedelic journey in a while, so I'm like, okay, I should do another journey. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a mushroom trip. I was gonna probably do a mushroom trip. And then that same day, my psychedelic sangoma hits me up. I call it my psychedelic sangoma. He hits me up. He's like, bro, man, I just went on this other journey. He's telling me he's tripping. I'm like, what you talking about, man? And he's like, bro, I've got some other stuff, bro. And I'm like, what do you got, man? And he's like, man, I got that DMT. I'm like, you got that DMT, bro? You've got DMT. He's like, man, I got that DMT. So I send him my my link to my YouTube channel, because he didn't know that like I engage in these topics. So I'm like, bro, you know, I don't know if you know, but I actually like talk about these subjects. So I sent him the link to my to the DMT video that I did on my YouTube channel. And so he's tripping. He's like, bro, this experience is amazing, man. Like, I've never cried. I've had family members who've died, bro, and like I haven't cried, man. But when I had this experience, bro, I literally cried. He's like, it felt like a soul massage. I was like, man, damn. It sounds very similar from how he described it to very high doses of mushroom trips. So I was like, okay, no, this is the spirit talking to me. Because I told myself, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go out looking for the DMT. It's going to find me. It's going to find me. And it found me. So I was like, okay, fine. It's time for me to go into it. So the last 2 weeks I've been spending just preparing my mind, preparing my body. And it was a good thing that when he texted me this anyway, I had already started my intermittent fasting, you know. So my body is clearing up, because it's these journeys, it's, you know how people go on roller coaster rides and seeking adrenaline and like maybe going bungee jumping and all of these things. It's similar, but those activities would be somewhat of an externally based type of going into the unknown, or like, oh my god, you know, like you're just jumping off a bridge or jumping off a high mountain or jumping out of a plane. They somewhat masculine, you know, and this society is dominated by the masculine energy. Whereas now when you go into the psychedelics, it's governed by a feminine force. And you know, the feminine force takes you internal. And many people in society are scared to go inside. You know, in fact, one of the most things that we are afraid of as a people is the unknown, and the greatest unknown to ourselves is ourselves. So that's why now we are afraid of that. And the people in power, obviously, them just being externally based, when they go into ancient cultures and now they begin to see, oh damn, these people are on another level. What they're gonna do in order to control society is that the best thing for them to do is to label these things as being dangerous, as being of no medicinal benefits. So they label them as like Schedule 1 drugs. Whereas it's so silly, because DMT is actually found naturally within the brain, within plants, within so many things in nature. And it is actually the most potent psychedelic in the world. The most potent. And it is really not a game. It is really, 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 really not a game. So Friday comes up and I'm like, okay, no, it's time. So I go, I link up with the Sangoma. I'm like, okay. He gives me the stuff. Usually now how it happens is that it is the way in which they take it, from how I've seen it, is they use a pipe, you know, and then you would burn it to a certain degree, and then you would inhale the smoke, and then you would blast off. So obviously things now are changing and like things are improving. So he told me, he's like, nah bro, this one is not even a hassle, it comes in a vape. I'm like, what, in a vape? He's like, yeah, they found a way to turn it into the DMT into an oil, and you could vape it. I was like, damn, I've never, like, online checking this out. Joe Rogan speaks a lot about DMT, you know. So I just spent the week watching like some things, people's reports, watched the DMT documentary. I watched some things on it, like some people reporting, because you know, you do get nervous for a good reason. But one thing I will tell you now is that one thing that's very overwhelming about DMT is the safety of it. Is because from outside you would think, oh my god, am I gonna take this and freak out and run out of the house? You know, oh my god, you know. And once you're in there, you kind of even laugh at yourself. You're like, damn, I can't believe I thought that. And it actually reminded me of the first time I did a heroic dose on psychedelic mushrooms. I took 6 grams and I met entities or beings in that realm that you find also in the DMT dimension. Because I will tell you this, and I'm going to tell you some amazing things today. When I first did the 6 gram mushroom trip, the first thing that I felt was this overwhelming sense of joy and peace. And from a distance, in my inner ear, I felt these beings so excited to see me, like, and they had this echo, like, hey, hey, as if they were seeing me from a distance approaching, and they were like, hey, hey. And the way that the beings are, they're in the form of energy and waves, but then they form into it's like an overwhelming intelligence in that space that's all happening inside of you. And these beings were so excited to see me. And I remember they said, like, I could clearly hear the voice. They were like, we can't believe you were so afraid we can't believe you were so afraid to take us, as if the mushrooms themselves were alive. And they're like, man, we so safe. Kids should be taking us every other Friday. I was like, damn, what is this? Ooh. And I started like just feeling this overwhelming sense of joy. And one thing that hit me, I was like, damn, I know this place. I know this place. This is so familiar. I know this place. And so that was Friday. So Saturday, I actually wanted to do a video before I took the DMT and after, but that ended up not happening. So what happened was that now, that was Friday. Friday, I got it. So this is the portal pen. This is the portal pen, right? This is the vape version of it. Let me just show you here. This is the vape version of it here. So it comes in this. You see that right there? That in there. That in there is the most potent psychedelic in the world. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You have this inside of you. This right there. So this is, you can actually vape it, you know. So, and then it's so funny thinking that like right now I could just, you know, it's kind of even scary just thinking about that. But this is the vape version of it. So my first time actually wasn't on like using it through a crack pipe. I guess that one would feel even more naughty, but like it coming in this thing, it makes it less, you know. But don't let it fool you, because like it being available in a vape, you might think that man, you know, it's like people use vapes for like for weed and other things. You might think that you could use it just as a casual thing, but trust me, man, like you still gotta approach this with the utmost super respect. Friday comes, I get it. Friday evening, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for people to sleep. You know, it's just that like there's no noise and everything. So I'm nervous. I'm like, damn, I'm actually nervous, man. I'm like, but I'm Mathics. I'm me. Like, I live for this. Like, this is. I find joy in this. You know, I consider myself to be one of the most blessed individuals in the world, because I've experienced mystical experiences that have been just naturally induced. I've had a Kundalini awakening, and I've had the opportunity to see reality with all my chakras open. I've had experiences where I've activated the macabre, and I flew in dreams, and I flew to different star systems. In my dreams, I've astrally traveled. So I'm like, man, like I'm designed for this. So I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna sleep. So I set an alarm to wake me up at 1 a.m. So I set an alarm, woke up at 1 a.m. Lit some rosemary, blessed my room, like just burned some rosemary. There was a nice candle lit there, and so I'm like, okay, now we're gonna go into the realm. So I'm there. So I click the pan. It comes on. I take my first pull, and what I know is that, or what I've learned is that they're like, oh man, this stuff really comes on fast, hey? Because on mushrooms, what happens is that you'll take them, and then after 30 minutes, you start feeling some things, and then by 45 minutes, then like you're starting to be immersed in this whole other realm. So they're like, man, this stuff comes on immediately, bro. You blast off like a rocket. So I'm like, I'm trying to like, how is it gonna feel? What is it gonna feel like? What is it gonna feel like? So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me do it. So I take one pull. Inhale. Hold it in. Immediately, I feel it. I'm like, okay. Second pull. There's a sound that begins to come on. Third pull, because they like, if like you just gotta take enough for you to blast off, and it'll take you to different, depending on how much of it you take in. So I'm like, okay, because this one I don't know, I'm gonna do 3 for now. You know, the homie told me that his hand did 9 pulls, and he did like 7. I was like, damn, okay. So the Sangoma guy, the psychedelic Sangoma. So third pull. By that third pull, there's this overwhelming frequency. I'm like, whoa, I put it down. I'm like, whoop, put it down. I laid down nicely. So immediately when I put it down, I'm like, I have a thought, right? So as I'm having the thought, I blast off. So it's like I'm about to complete thinking a thought, and by the time the thought is almost complete, I'm gone. It's like the thought, and then so I feel myself going, and then I'm seeing, oh man, that was so genius. I'm seeing that thought. It's like I left the thought on earth. It's like I'm seeing a thought that wasn't done. I'm like, but that thought though. And by the time I stop being amazed about leaving a thought behind, and now this was my eyes closed, but oh man, the movement is so genius in these spaces. It's like, oh, what are we as souls, as humanity? The genius of the brain, of these chakras. By the time that like now that thought is so far away and so distant, I'm like, okay. And now I'm in this whole other space. Oh my God, I'm in this whole other space. And there's just this feeling, I'm like, wow, that was so fast. And there's this vibration, this as in it felt like I'm in this spiritual type of I don't even know, in this spiritual type of space where when I'm in that moment, I'm like, here's that thing. I'm like, damn, this is that thing. That's the most amazing thing. When you're in that place, you know it. You're like, I know this place. I know this thing. And there's this thing that you know. It's an intelligence, and you're like, whoa. And then you're amazed, and then you get this whole, and then it's happening so fast. There's a whole bunch of things just happening. This one wasn't deeply visual. It wasn't a lot of visuals. It was more of like a feeling, like, oh damn, this is that thing. And I'm like, wow, this is what happens to us when we leave Earth. This is what happens when we die. This is the space that we experience also pre-birth, or it's a space that we're familiar with but we forget. And so as fast as you get there, you can feel the descent coming back down, and there's this euphoria. So I start laughing in that. I really recorded myself. I start laughing. I'm like, oh my God. This bliss. I'm feeling this bliss as I'm coming down, and then I'm laying there in awe, like, wow, that was amazing. I was like, that was amazing. So the first thing that I was like, okay, cool. This is amazing. This is safe. There's no And then one thing hit me, Jorge. There is no running around and like being scared of like, oh, I'm gonna do I'm like, okay, cool. I'm secure. I've just done DMT. I've tested it. I know it. I know that thing. I know that vibration. I know those realms. So I'm like, okay, cool. Oh man, like I was just so happy about, like all the worry, like, oh, what if, it's nothing. Cause the thing is, you still you. You still you. Like it's you. Everything about you is still you, but the space that you are in just changes. You know how different places that you have, like, or that you go and you visit your granny's place, or when you visit a certain place, it has a feeling to it. Now it's the same thing. It's still you in that place. When you go to a different province, it's you. It's not like when you go to a different province, you change. But the feeling, you feel, okay, I'm in a different space. So the same thing happens. It's just that now the feeling of the psychedelic space is coming from inside. So it's very amazing. So whoa, damn. Okay, cool. That happened. So it takes about an hour for it to be, to move out of the system. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna try this again. So I'm like, okay, I wanna try listening to music, because now I'm experimenting. I'm like, I play Africa Must Wake Up by Nas and Damian Marley. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it with music and see. I put on some music. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just take like 2. Then I take 2. Then I'm listening to the music. I'm like, okay, no, the music is gonna, words and things. I'm like, it's gonna mask the experience. So I'm like, okay, no, maybe for now, not music. This is a fast thing. So I take the headset out, I take one more pull, and then, so now, all of a sudden, I'm in a different space. And now this space is amazing, because it feels like it's such a tangible space. And when I'm in that space, I feel, because there's that frequency again, I feel these beings checking, like, oh, it's like someone just came here, and then so now they're seeing who it is. They're like, oh, it's Mathics, Esoteric. It's like, oh, but it's like from where they were seeing me, they're like, oh, he's trying to get up here, but and not even trying to get up here as if I'm not there. It's so cool, because it's like these spaces, man, like, oh, jeez. So now I'm feeling this place of familiarity. I'm like, I know this place again. So I feel these entities. They're like, oh, homie, you more. I went, okay, but I'm like, all right, no, cool. Now I know. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna sleep. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a bigger. I'm gonna pull it in even deeper, right? So then I sleep, and then the next day, because it was Saturday in the morning, so I'm like, okay, at night again, so Sunday in the morning around 1 a.m, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back in, but this time I'm gonna do 7 pulls, each pull for each chakra. Woo! The whole day I'm nervous, the whole day I'm like, ooh, damn. So I'm like, I'm just there, I'm preparing myself. I'm like, oh, ooh. That was just 3. What made me comfortable was I know that place, I know those things, I know what that place is, I know I'm familiar with it. So now I'm like, that's my home. Because beings love me that side. They're like, oh, bro, they love me that side. It's like, I love me that side, because I think I'm gonna should I do a part 2? How long have I been recording? Okay, 24 minutes. Okay, maybe I should just like finish it and make it 30 minutes. Okay, I think 30 minutes will be cool. Yeah, there's no need for part 2. All right, cool. So that night, I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna go back in this journey. So now I laid back. I do at 1 a.m. again. I do. Oh, and what's so nice is that like the whole time I'm talking to my queen over the phone, like before I even go, we're talking, we're like, hey love, and the whole time I'm amazed. I'm like, damn, it's so fast. Literally, like I could go and come back and talk to her as if like ain't nothing just happened. It's like phew, and you're in this whole other place, and then you come back and there's no, you feel, oh damn, I was definitely somewhere. And sometimes things get downloaded to you, which is what happened to me with the 7 pools. I take, I'm like, I go in, I feel this frequency. I'm like, oh, okay, no. Now the information starts coming. I'm like, okay, this frequency, it's the sound of the chakras when they are all spinning. Because remember, the spinal cord is an extension of the brain. The brain being a manifestation of the mind. And so all along the spinal line, where the neurons travel down, the whole nervous system, all of that, it's an intelligence springing in from the mind touching you through the brain and then manifesting itself here as electricity. So the spinal cord with all those chakra fields on the etheric level, that's what you go into when you go into DMT spaces, or psychedelic spaces, or these shamanic states. It's you go into the chakras, because the chakras are worlds. So you go into the chakras, you go into these worlds, and the beings that you feel are actually the beings that are occupying these different chakra levels. So there's different entities that people see on these journeys, and these are the worlds. They are the beings that exist within these chakras, within these dimensions that you see through your mind's eye. So when I did the 7 pool, I felt it's so amazing. First, I saw this light, like as if something was being downloaded into me. I literally saw it go into my head. Like, I was like, damn, this is so amazing. And then in one of now the most profound things, I felt literally, it's like strings. Like they were so tangible. I could feel them as if they were outside of my body, like just like coming out of my throat, and like energies moving, and for my head as well. Just like I was like, oh, and as I'm laying there, I can feel this like. I'm like, oh damn, these are the chakras. They really there. I can feel my chakras. I'm like. Then I feel, and there's this amazing part. I'm laying on the bed like this, but then I feel as if like now I'm like something is lifting my body to stand like up like this, and then the next thing I know, I have this feeling of going like, and then I'm spirit traveling. I saw that. It's like now I was deep in it, because after those 7 pools, the first thing that you feel is this force. It's like it presses on you. It's like and it feels like the entity of the DMT. It's like it itself is an intelligence, and it presses on you. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you like me. Oh, you want it for. It's like oh, you want it to this degree. Oh, okay. And then like it takes you into the space that immediately just opens up in front of you. It's like there's this world, and then all of a sudden you're in another world, and you're seeing this place with your eyes closed. It's like your eyes are open somewhere else. Oh man, it's so amazing. And now the one of the most experienced amazing things is that I felt this feeling that I felt on psilocybin mushrooms, and also in a Kundalini experience. It's like you're in this place. You are with this intelligence of, oh man, that one, it's this dimension of beautiful colors that are intelligent, and all around that place you feel yourself, and you feel other forces and entities, and there's this overwhelming feeling of genius. For me, it's always this overwhelming feeling of divine spiritual genius and intelligence that talks to me, and I talk to it through this non-verbal communication. But it's like you know what I am, and like I know what you are. And then like I'm bending in and out of myself, and it's like I know this thing. I know this thing. Here's that thing again. And it's so funny because once you come out, you tend to forget it. And most people say they forget they forget immediately everything. So with me going in, my intention was I want to go in and come back out with a lot of information and like retain it. So I spoke to him like, okay, chakras, bro, we're gonna be doing this. Download information so that we don't forget. So there was one point where I'm laying, and then I felt my body just go, and then the next thing, I feel myself astral traveling. Like I'm flying in the astral worlds now. I'm in a deep trance. Like I'm moving in the astral planes. Like, and there are these. It felt like there were these beings with me that were taking me somewhere else. We're flying somewhere else, and so we're flying. I'm like, and so I have an astral body there, and it was like this. It's like a different planet, and it's not very. In the moment, I'm aware of myself, and I'm like, okay, I'm definitely in a different place here. This looks like it's a different planet. It could just be Earth in a different dimension. And as I said, it's nothing but your inner world. So now I'm in my inner worlds, but I don't know which one of them. But I'm in somewhere there, and in that place, I'm flying. I'm like, I'm in a world here, and then I'm flying. These beings are taking me somewhere, and I'm like, whoa. And the most amazing thing is I still feel my physical body here. And I'm like, damn, I'm a technology. I'm a technology, and I'm like, the human body is so profound and so genius. That's what hits me. It's like, we are so profound. What are we? Like all these laptops and it's nothing compared to what we are. It's like your body is this spiritual thing that can go into the multiverse and all these different places, but you don't know. And some of these realms that you are in, when you look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics, and when you look at the Mayan and the Aztec and all their different structures and you know, the things on the walls, it's like you can see that what these people were replicating are those states. So it's like those states, they brought them to Earth. Literally, they brought them to Earth and created all those structures, because you see similar structures in those planes. You see similar beings in those planes. You know, it's just genius. It's just genius. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Oh my word. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that so much. I really loved that. And just being a human, you appreciate it even more. It's like, damn. You know, you appreciate the little things about yourself. Like, just being a human is just a mystery, and getting to explore your consciousness to the fullest is really amazing. Now, these states, as I said, they're natural to you and you can access them naturally. But people spend months and years in mountains, you know, doing Kundalini yoga and all of that. And like, some may reach these states, and some, like, it's really, but they put you there. But the thing is that now, don't take, let's say you do have an experience on ayahuasca or mushrooms and whatnot. Don't take, understand them that they are tools to open a window to something that is natural to you. And it's so cool because they're not things that are addictive and they're like, oh, I'm addicted to DMT. Nah, it's oh, I'm addicted to psilocybin. Oh, I'm seeing shapes. No, it's not like your alcohol and your cigarettes. Those are dangerous but legal. That's the crazy thing about this society. But you see, it's twisted. You see the agenda. You see the hypocrite because they kill and on these things it's you hardly inflict harm on people. It's you go into you, as I said, and then there's this whole other universe that opens up with all these different forces and intelligences. And usually when you come back down, the funny thing is it's like to a certain degree you forget a lot about what is in that place until you're in that place again. You're like, what is this? And I figured it out. It's the frequency. Our brains, because we leave that frequency, we forget it because we tune our brain out of that thing. So you forget it. But like more than the visual, there's a feeling to those places. There's There's an intelligence to those places. And man, like I will just say, like, I hope a lot of humans get to experience these things about themselves and experience these states, because like really it's just like it's mind bending. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But as I said, there are tools to just help you tap into things that are natural to you. You in your dreams, you go to these places. You go to these states, just that like when you forget. But here, they put you in a dream state. So they put you in a lucid dream. So you dreaming, you're experiencing things of the other world, but while still consciously awake. So you switch dimensions, but while still awake. Because usually when you fall asleep at night, boom, your consciousness is like, you're gone. But then you experience those things so you don't remember. So here, you climb the 90-degree angle, but while still awake. And so you get to experience that other side. That's the thing. That's why sometimes when you come back, you forget it. It becomes like a dream, because the vibration of it, the state, that frequency is nothing but the changing of the radio station. I actually think it's the pineal gland. That's the thing. Like it's sound. That sound puts you in a different place. It puts you in a different place. So I think for now, let me leave it at this. If I remember anything else, I'll make a part 2, because there's so, like, here I just wanted to give boom, 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 just like put it down as a recording, as like, okay, I recorded this for myself and for you, to say, like, really, I'm not saying do it or don't. Like I'm giving you my experience. I'm not saying do this or don't, but this is my journey. I'm just like telling you, like, yo, I'm not, like, hey. Like, cause this is some other stuff, man. It's like, hey, hey, you gotta be at the right mind, right place, right. You just gotta be right with yourself and very grounded. But it's definitely something that heals. It's something that is very therapeutic, and it's an adventure. It's definitely an adventure. So for now, I'm just gonna leave it there. And throughout the week, maybe like as whatever was downloaded in my head, maybe I'll begin to recall some things. I'll definitely make something else to let you know. But family, like, setting, if you wanna experiment with, like where you are, who you with, people they say must have a trip sitter, someone who sits with you through the thing. Okay, I've never had that. I'm my trip sitter. But I'm me, so, like if you have someone there maybe to hold your hand, you're like, hey, Choma, alright? You're just seeing God as you, Choma, but it's definitely something that, as I'm saying, like the safety of it is like it makes me smile. I'm like, wow, man, like, damn. Wow, like I can just go like that, because it's you. The only freaky thing about it is the astonishment. It's like you're just astonished. It's like, whoa, like whoa, this exists. Oh, and I'm this, So it's yeah, family. I've never clapped in my videos before. I think even this clapping is just I'm just clapping for the universe, man. I'm just clapping for just that. Wow. Shayani Zandla, bo. Oh. Mushapeling matsoho, everybody. Matsoho, izandla. Sicela izandla. Shayelana umdala izandla. Diyela mudimo diata. Genius is what we are. Genius. Let me eat Sunday cause. Let me eat my Sunday food now. Damn. Yo. God bless me with people in my life who I will create. I wanna do retreats, man. I'm gonna do retreats. Well, I'm just gonna take you guys. We go camping. We have some lectures, some teaching, some poetry, some music. It's a festival. 3 days nyana, 4 days nyana. We leave Friday or leave Thursday. You take a leave from work. Tell them that you're going to personal matters because we are personal. We arrive Friday wherever we're going. Get there, have some teachings. We eat. We play games. We have some lectures. We talk. Invite people. We have music. We have poetry, art display. We mingle with people. As I said, we play games. We learn. Invite certain teachers. We speak. We prepare for the journey, and we administer guided trips. Minister guided trips to you. Now, because Baba Matoba comfortable, like okay, this person, I feel like I can trust him. I feel like he knows, sometimes it's nice when you're around people who have experienced these things, or people who you feel safe around. So just create that bond, and then we administer, okay, what are you looking for in the journey? We write your intentions down. But that's neither here nor there. This is me now speaking into the universe. I'm also hitting your subconscious mind, as your subconscious is part of my subconscious. We are all one being. So I'm actually talking to myself here, and I'm saying, hey, me, you, let's do this. Let's explore ourselves. Let's explore consciousness. Let's take ourselves to a whole other reality, because we are the primordial beings. We are the fallen angels. We are the titans. We are Prometheus. We are the sleeping giants, caught under a fence of a frequency vibration that we can bridge through divine meditation, through divine conversation. We can bridge this frequency, and when now we begin to change, and with us changing, all of society will be forced to change. Politics, school system, everything that we do will begin to change. All these things that are happening, gender-based violence, drugs, killings, all of these are because we are murky in our consciousness. We are vibrating very low. And so when we begin to rise, we begin to see people in power. Come on, man. You're keeping us under a sheep mentality, mob mindset. So we begin to move out of that, and we see, okay, no, we are our own leaders. About the people shall govern. The people who will govern are the ones you can only govern if you know how to go inside yourself. Because even the word government, to govern, means to watch over. So the government governs the mind. To govern. Mind, government is mind. So they're governing the mind, keeping you under a hypnotic state through politics, through entertainment, through bad food, and through all these things, debt. it's a rat race that they are creating. And so now what we are doing as people, what we are doing as ancients who have returned, is that we are bringing back ourselves. We are bringing back and bridging dimensions, and now seeing that, hey, Joe Pella, here we're being duped. You see, so these retreats, I'm speaking them into life through you, through me, through us, because we are one consciousness. It's just that the body tricks us into thinking, okay, no, there are all these separations, but there is no separation. No one is greater than the other. First law of the universe, all is mind and everything in the universe is mental. You see what it is, family? So don't be afraid. Have the courage. Don't be afraid. Have the courage to explore yourself. Explore your mind through breathing techniques. Courage. Society these days hardly calls for courage. And the courage is literally there's this great man you were speaking about it, Terence McKenna. It's so few are called to go into courageous states where you walk into the unknown. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid of death. And like me hearing a lot of people speaking about, the DMT, it feels like I'm dying. Like for me personally, there were no feelings of, this is what feels. No, it doesn't, because it's home. It's not a feeling, oh my God, I feel like I'm dying. No, like it's, personally for me, it's like, oh, damn. It's, you just like, this is this. As I'm saying, it's home. It's home. You've been in those states. You know those states. You're there more than you hear. You're there more than you hear. Just that now, are you courageous enough to go there now consciously, having been through the programmings of this society that scares you all the time? So the spiritual world is calling upon us to be courageous enough to say, oh no, enough is enough, man. Why are you governing my consciousness, G? Why are you governing what I'm doing with my mind? Why are you governing why are you governing what I'm doing with my mind? You see? So this is what it is, family. This is what the revolution is about. This is the new spiritual renaissance. This is the time. This is the time. Because all of this is gonna end, but what's gonna continue are the memories and the interactions that we're creating with each other. So the most important thing is love. Is love. The whole religion, oh no, Jesus, no, my Krishna, no, states, archetypes, it's states of the mind. All of these things are just states personified. So we're fighting wars and killing each other over things that are really not necessary. When it's just about love and us and experiencing and God getting to reflect itself and trip. Literally, we are God's psychedelic trip every day. When you say Sanbonani, when you say Dumelang, when you say Sanbo, when you're greeting someone, you're not just greeting them, you are greeting a whole lineage of people. It's him and them. It's him and his ancestral lines on both sides of the paternal and maternal side of the family. So San Bonani, it's not just Sawubona, it's San Bonani. It's meaning I'm seeing you and the others inside of you. Do Melang, one person, but you are recognizing so many people. Lekai, how are you? Rehona. So even a greeting is nothing but an affirmation of, do you see this? When you walk in the street and you greet someone and you say, sure, and be like, hey, or when you say, hey, fere, and they're like, hey, exebra. When you're walking in the street and you're like, good morning. Goeiemorgen. Ogai, Dumel. It's like, it's God tripping and affirming, like, I see you. Sawubona. Yebo. Unjani, ngikhona. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. That's God saying, hey Joel, yay. I see you. Do you see this? Do you see that we're alive? And then you ask that individual, you ask that other version of you, like, hey, Sawubona. And they're like, yebo, unjani, ngikhona, wena unjani, ngikhona nami. And then you pass each other. In that moment, in that quick 3-second interaction, God just spoke to itself and affirmed its own existence as one but many. It's like if this is God, this would be the individual. So at the palm is the source and we are the outgrowths. So this, when it says greetings, when this one responds, it's like I feel you, I know you, finger, because our source is one. So let me just check. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Oh damn. That's it. Life is one psychedelic trip. It's God tripping all the time. Everything, every day when you see strangers walking, that's God. G. God is not something that's far up there and just no. Everything, every blade of grass, every thought, every grain of sand, every star, every neutron, everything is it. Everything is it. Batu, Motu. We are that